Hi, my name is Stephanie with the Kheprw Institute, which is a grassroots organization that works to support and encourage community empowerment. And I'm going to tell you about the IndyAMP program. IndyAMP stands for Affordable Modification Program, which is essentially a refinance that allows participants to refinance at a below market interest rate for up to 30 years. This is a partnership between Kheprw and Attend Indiana, which was previously Renew Indy. Some features of the IndyAMP program include a 3% fixed interest rate for up to 3 years. They can choose between 10, 20, and 30-year terms. The refinanced mortgage debt needs to be between 20 and 200,000. One benefit is that participants can even choose to defer their first payment for up to 90 days after closing on their new loan. And there is no appraisal. We do a drive-by to make sure that the home actually exists, but there is not an appraisal through this refinance loan. Some of the main benefits of the IndyAMP program include allowing people to remain in their homes. This is really primary, as anyone who has worked with clients knows. Once somebody has a foreclosure, has to move their home and uproot their family, there are many ripple effects that are negative. And we really want to help keep people in their home and catch up on their mortgage and lower their monthly payment. That is going to just increase stability and put them in a much better situation. Some of the other IndyAMP benefits include flexible terms, that 10, 20, or 30-year option that I previously mentioned. There is no appraisal or even a home inspection. There is no cash required at closing. Just with any other mortgage, there are closing costs that are part of that process. Those are typically between $2,000 and $3,000, but they can be wrapped up into the new mortgage. Additionally, there is no mortgage insurance that is required. So generally, if someone puts less than 20% down on their home, most loans will require them to purchase private mortgage insurance, otherwise referred to as PMI, but that is not a requirement for the IndyAMP refinance. So that may be an immediate cost savings depending on when the participant initially purchased their home and how much they put down. Something that is really helpful is that somebody who is behind on their mortgage but has not yet in foreclosure could still work with us. So we can wrap those payments that are behind into the new refinanced mortgage. And we can even include second mortgages as well. Here are some of the program requirements for the IndyAMP program. Participants must live in Marion County, and the mortgaged home must be their primary residence. We are not able to refinance rental properties as part of this program. As previously mentioned, the mortgage debt must be between 20 and 200,000. This program was initially started with ARPA funding. And so with that, they were targeting certain areas, or they were looking for some sort of COVID impact. So as you can see in the green box on the bottom left, anyone in those zip codes, 46201, 202, 205, 208, and so on, can kind of move on to the next step. If not, then participants must self-certify that they were negatively impacted by COVID-19. Really, anyone that was alive in 2020, 2021 could say that they were negatively impacted by COVID-19. The participant does not have to have a doctor's note. They did not even have to have COVID. They just have to say that they were negatively impacted by COVID-19. This is truly not a barrier. One thing that can be a challenge, however, is that participants do need to have a minimum credit score of 600. That is still really a low credit score for this type of mortgage. However, we're going to talk a little bit about how we could potentially still help someone with a lower credit score before refinancing with us. Another requirement is that participants must have regular income. This could include Social Security, but not unemployment, as unemployment is meant to be temporary. There are income limits for those that would try to participate in this program, which is 120% of AMI, or the area median income. In 2023, here in Indianapolis, that would mean that a two-person home could not make more than $87,600 for the year and still be able to qualify. And as mentioned, that is the upper income limit. So when we talked about that minimum 600 credit score, here are some ways that we can help people get to that point. And that would be partnering with 877 Get Hope. If you are not yet familiar with that program, I highly encourage you to Google it because it is a great resource for homeowners. Essentially, with that program, people can get mortgage help for up to 6 months. And that would be anything that's in a mortgage. For instance, somebody who has actually paid off their bank loan, but has a high tax bill or is having challenges paying their mortgage insurance, they could work to get help from 877 Get Hope and get some financial assistance there. So how this would work is if somebody was referred to you and you learned that they had a lower credit score, they disclosed that to you, you could tell them that they can work with both of these programs. They would first work with 877 Get Hope to have that program pay for up to 6 months of their mortgage. And the participant would then use the money that they would typically have put on their mortgage to strategically pay off other debt, either debt that is the most longstanding or has the highest interest rate, whatever is going to most quickly and positively impact their credit score is what they would want to target. So they would use the money that they would typically put on their mortgage to other debt to get some of that debt paid off, first of all, which is going to hopefully give them a little bit of breathing room and relief, but that will also raise their credit score and then allow them to apply for the IndyAMP program. So in this scenario, somebody initially referred who has a low credit score gets debt relief, gets a higher credit score after paying off some debt, and then gets more long-term stability as they have a lower interest mortgage loan that is going to be a reduced cost to them, allowing them to have more margin and hopefully reduce their stress and just keep them much more stable moving forward. The client process includes an introductory call with clients that Kheprw does, and I'm going to show you how to schedule that call here in a second, but it's very easy. We explain some of these same benefits that we're telling you about here, and then we get a feel for what the client's situation is to see if this is going to be beneficial and a good fit. If everyone decides to proceed, then we work to schedule an orientation call, which is about an hour. During that call, we get a lot more details related to what the debt looks like, what the mortgage rate and payment looks like, and we can even give an estimate as to what that new mortgage payment might look like to make sure that it's going to be beneficial for the client. After that, the client fills out an application that is sent to the bank. We work with Stockyards and Merchants Bank here. They may request some additional documentation, as is common during the mortgage process. But then our goal is to close approximately 30 days after getting all that documentation in and that lender approval. We really do work to make this process happen as quickly and efficiently as we can, and to really be a good resource for our clients moving through it. So next steps would be to check out IndyAMP.org. On this page, if you scroll down, there are some very robust frequently asked questions available in both Spanish and English. Here, as you can see, the blue button toward the center, slightly left of the screen says schedule call. That is where potential participants could click that button and schedule the initial 15-minute call. We often have calls available that day or the next business day. We really do work to make ourselves available for clients to help them through this process as efficiently as possible. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to info@IndyAMP.org. There are a team of us on this distribution list, and we work to answer those questions as quick as we can to help as many people as possible. Thank you so much for your time today. Bye-bye.